Hey guys, now it's been taking me a while to get through all these Spider-Verse toys here, so I just decided to do all of them at once. I'm also trying a new filming style too. Alright, now let's get started with the fan favorite, Spider-Gwen. And there she is, guys, with her accessory, and not a bad figure overall, but let's take a closer look. Now the head sculpt overall has a very clean white color to it, and the pink on her face, the eyes, and the inside hoodie there is actually crisp, clean, and very bright. Now the head doesn't move much at all aside from this 360 here. Now her head does come off, but the head is actually pretty deeply jammed into that hoodie there, and I mean it can come out, but if you really wanted to, you'd have to get something to kind of get in there and just like yank it out there, because it's pretty stuck in there, but you can if you wanted to. But an easier thing to do is head swapping. And the body matches that cartoonish look of the movie and has pretty decent sculpting and contouring overall. Now the paint overall is pretty cleanly applied with fairly sharp edges, although there is some bleeding here and there, but the back looks great. And the arms here have a slender muscle sculpt to it, as well as a very clean white, and some pink there, as well as some web sculpting. And you get the random accessory holding hand, as well as a web slinging hand. And the arm has the usual 360, as well as a shoulder joint, and the elbow rotates 90 degrees and spins. And the legs have a slender sculpt and are pretty much all black except for the teal shoes that she has there. Although interestingly, her legs seem more muscular than Miles. And here's a closer look at her slipper teal shoes there, as well as the bottom with the Lego Majanga Janga Bongo. And her legs does the forward thing, but not so much the backwards thing. And here's her web slinging accessory here, which is very smooth and actually kind of looks like whipped cream, honestly. And then on the other end is her little web slinger. And it's actually pretty stiff. And just stick it onto her arm like so, and now she has a web slinger. Now I tried putting Spider-Man's here, as you can see, but it's actually bigger. Her wrist is too small, so it looks like Spider-Man's wrist is big because you can see it's kind of loose there, but if you wanted to, you can have her double webbing there and just splattering everybody. Pew, 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 web, 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 web. Ah. And moving into Spur/Der. It is a very big robot, but I have to say I actually do really like that color. The mechanical sculpting detail overall on the body here is actually really nice, and the paint on the spider here and the edge of the red here is actually really crisp, although the eyes not so much. As you can see, there's some bleeding there. And for the back, there's pretty much no paint aside from this nice glossy dome here, but they still have the nice mechanical details, as you can see there, which is pretty nice. And the arms also have that nice mechanical sculpting and are pretty much the same on both sides aside from the paint there, as you can see. But it's the forearms that are different, because this one has a cannon and clearly this one does not. Now the non-cannon forearm is pretty simple overall, and it looks kind of like a glove, honestly, and it rotates, and the hand also rotates on its own as well. And as expected, the arm also does a 360. And the cannon arm rotates as well, and the hand kind of rotates, but not too much. But this cannon here is pretty nicely detailed. It's got some, you know, cannon-y look to it and stuff. There's a little outlet, and then here's the button here, and you simply take this little piece here, just stick it in there like I said, and then pew, 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 pew. Now the legs here are really awesome. They have a lot of mechanical details, as well as hydraulics there and then there, and overall the paint, like not on the back but on the front, as you can see, the paint is actually just, you know, really crisp and clean, and I love that alternating blue and red there. And there's the feet bottom with the Lego Jumbo. Now the legs here have some crazy articulation. They go way up and way back, but don't expect it to stand like that unless you use the arms like a boss. And here's a Penny Parker that also comes with a Spy/Der, and overall she's pretty nicely sculpted. I really like the glossy boots she has here, and they're pretty nicely detailed too, with the shoelaces and the boot details. The body's nicely detailed too, with the nice little wrinkles in the skirt there, and then a cool little backpack there. I'm not sure what she's carrying, but hey, she's got a backpack just like Peter Parker. Her face is kind of creepy, but not too bad, I think. But she has some nice hair, and yeah. Now her head can rotate 360, and it's on a ball joint, so it's got some side to side and a little bit of up and down as well. And the arms rotate 360, and that's pretty much it. And now for the villains. We'll start with the Prowler here, and overall he looks pretty sweet, especially with these little things down here. There's his cape, and the cape actually comes off, so you can get a better view of the back there, but let's take a closer look. Starting with the head, we actually get a pretty decent looking sculpt. All the wrinkles that they put on there actually looks like he's wearing a mask, and the paint on his eyes there is actually crisp and clean. Now his head also pops off, but the thing is, the ball joint is substantially smaller than the heroes, so they clearly did not want you to head swap with villains. And the body sculpt overall is pretty decent with all the wrinkles, but in honesty, it's very streamlined, and he's clearly not a very muscular character. Although the edges on the paint is very clean, especially on the Prowler symbol, as you can see there, that holds for the cape. And as for the arms, he has some really big shoulder muscles, as you can see. It's like he skipped chest day and just did like a ton of shoulder day, but And it still looks pretty decent. It looks kind of funny, but he's got some muscle there too, some wrinkles. He's got some cool little stuff on his arm. I don't know too much about Prowler characters, so I don't know what these are. If you guys know, you can drop a comment below to let me know what these are. I'm guessing they're blasters, but I could be wrong. And the legs overall have a pretty simple sculpt, just like the cartoon. They did add some wrinkles, thankfully, which give him that kind of pants look there. But man, his boots just look fantastic. Just look at that. Look at all the details on the boots there. And just, it's like they put all the details into the boots, which is nice. And there's a bottom of the feet for you with more Lego Jumbo, as well as a peg hose for his little booster accessories. And here's a closer look at his cape there. You see the little peg that goes into the back there. There's the top, and then there's the back. It's very soft, and it looks like there's a crown on the top, and then also a crown on the bottom, so that's kind of interesting. And as for articulation, his head rotates 360, has a little bit of side to side, and a little bit of up and down. And the arm also rotates 360 with a decent shoulder joint and a decent elbow joint that rotates 360 as well. And his leg also does the usual forward, but it actually goes all the way back, which is interesting because I guess he's the only character they didn't bother giving him a big booty sculpt for. Let's get his cape back on there. And here's a closer look at his rocket booster accessory. It has a frosted transparent look to it, and it's got a nice orange color as well. And it's got some sculpted in rocket blast as well as some smoke here. And overall it's actually slightly soft, but not too soft, so it can hold its shape, thankfully. And both sides are pretty much the same except for the curvature for left and right. And now for Scorpion. Now he comes in pieces here, so let's go and assemble them first. We'll go and plug the legs into the back here, both sides, and then plug in the tail. Now I actually really like the details that they put on him here. The green eyes look fantastic, and the little tattoos here are nice and cleanly applied. Got some cool muscle sculpt in these things here with the little green dots. Although the articulation on the arm is kind of a letdown because it only rotates 360 and that's it, no elbow joint or whatever. But he does have a cool backpack there with the stinger coming out, and then his arm here has the claw, which is super awesome. It actually rotates, and you have a little button here that lets it open and close there, and you can actually push the smaller one and keep it open, which like it stays open for real because the button doesn't work anymore, but you just push it back in and then it goes again. And the head has some side to side and a little bit up and down, and it rotates 360 sort of. It really gets stuck on the side there, but if you push it hard enough it goes. And his horns here are pretty cool, and he's got a sweet looking stinger there with all this cool details. It's got the green there. I think the green's supposed to be venom. This looks like a cobra head coming up, and then bam, there's a stinger nice and red. Super awesome looking, although the inside is just kind of plain, so they kind of, you know, skimped out there. And overall there's no articulation on the actual stinger itself, but the joint here where it connects can go forward and back. And his mechanical legs here are just wicked looking. Just look at all that crazy mechanical detail and all that cool craziness. It actually kind of reminds me of Darth Maul, you know, like after he got his, you know, torso chopped off. But hey, it's pretty cool. But unfortunately there's no articulation whatsoever on the legs, unless you count the flexible bendiness of it as articulation. But you know, this, whoa, Jesus. Now that I think about it, his claw kind of reminds me of the Brine King. Remember the Brine King? Yeah, 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 yeah. Time for a skit.
Spider-Gwen, you cannot defeat the likes of the Prowler and Scorpio. Oh, that hurt. Oh, it'll take more than that to defeat me. That did it.
Did you just throw your arm at him? It broke off during my review. What else was I supposed to do with it? And for some comparisons, here they are next to the Hero Vision Iron Spider, the SH Figure Arts Infinity War Thanos, the Mattel Basic Aquaman movie Aquaman, the Marvel Legends Infinity War Captain America, and the Disney Toy Box Hulkbuster. And here's their respective packages and UPCs for those interested. Whew, that was a rush. But all the Spider-Verse toys are now complete. Now these figures overall aren't bad, so hopefully the movie's as good as the toys are. But not including the arm break-off Spider-Man, of course. Oh, and thanks for all the suggestions on how to fix Spider-Man's arm there, but I think I'm just gonna return them and get a new one. Probably the best way. Anyways guys, I have some more Disney Toy Box and Aquaman toy reviews coming up soon, but first, a Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom surprise. Anyways guys, thanks for watching and being patient with me while I got through these Spider-Verse figures, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.